Hey guys.
Hello.
This sideways thing always make me look cross-eyed because I keep looking the wrong way. So, I gotta situate myself, y'all, because we just decided to get on this live and start talking to you guys. But I just want to share. I wrote this book, and I basically wrote the book because it was needed. I felt like it was really important to be able to help people to move to another position. But my idea was that people were going to move to another position in the beauty industry. So, Shahira here was here a few days ago, and I just put the book in her hand and I said, just look this over for me. Like, I just want you to take a look at it and tell me what you think. And it's just amazing all of the things that happened after she read the book. So start off with what you said when you first looked at it, because she tried to turn it into something else. She was like, oh, this is good for as she's reading, but we really want to tell y'all the story because she and I were just having a conversation and we were really just about to be in tears just now. So I was like, we got to go live because this is just needs to be shared with the world. So start with that, how you felt when you opened it up and what you said and what you try to turn it into.
So she gave it to me and I'm reading it, and the night before, about 3 o'clock in the morning, I was just in bed crying and talking to God, trying to figure out what my purpose is, what will bring me joy. Then I came the following day to Tamika's. Thankfully, she had an opener for a model. And she gave me this book and said, read over it. Usually, I just look for errors, grammatical errors, but I'm reading and going, wow, oh my God, this was just supposed to be. I'm supposed to be reading this. And I said, oh, Tamika, this would be good for my high school kids. This is so good for high school kids. But my heart is going, this is for me. This here is for me. I needed this. And I'm not a beautician. I'm a school counselor and a therapist by trade. And I'm reading this going, at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm crying. And I have this book in my hand to help me start my journey because I am a procrastinator. And you got so many sections in this book that make you look at you and make me look at me. Something I'm used to putting the blame off on others. Oh, I screwed up because of you. Don't worry, it's your fault. This book makes you take a hard look and an honest look at yourself. It made me look at me and made me realize where my weaknesses are, and that the only really true thing was I was and am my own weakness. I couldn't put the blame off on anybody else.
Because you had to answer those questions.
Oh my God, questions. I was telling Tamika, I said the one question that stunted me and stopped me to make me go wow was put the date down. Write down the date that you want to start doing. I told Tamika, this is not for the faint at heart, and if you're not really serious about making growth or change, you're going to put that book down and go, I'm not doing this hard work. My hard work started when I was here at the salon when she gave it to me, and I decided, I'm going to go to sleep, because that's what I do. I'm just going to sleep. And Tamika said, let's go work. And she started asking me questions and probing me, and I went, wow. It was needed. Everything happened on purpose at the right time, intentionally. This book has me so freaking motivated. When I said, you know what, I put my LPC away. I filled up my 4 points 3 years ago and said, I'm done. I have my notes out on my bed. And I said, Tamika, I'm not going to sleep in my bed because it's comfortable. I'm going to go on my couch where it's uncomfortable. That's why I slept last night at 2 o'clock in the morning when I finally fell asleep from studying. This book here is an eye-opener. It's a life changer. It's a soul awakener. It's a soul shocker, jaw dropper, and it's fire that's going to be set underneath your feet. I don't even know what else to say without wanting to cry. But this book here is not just for hairstylists. It's for anybody. And I'm quite sure when I bring it to my kids too, once I buy it, my students going to grow from it. So if they're juniors in high school, they could use their junior year, senior year, freshman year to start them off. But it's this book. This is this book.
Yeah, and the book is called You Got More in You, Where Is It? That's what it's called. You Got More in You, Where Is It? It can be purchased on Amazon as in a Kindle ebook, or it can be a paperback, or you can get it in my digital download store, either place wherever you want to get it. Now, I want to move on to another part of this story because there's something else that I'm doing, and y'all, what y'all don't understand is like we were talking and everything is coming clear for me. It was coming clear for her, and I'm doing an event coming up called Who Am I, and it is a conference. So I want to share something right now that is so clear for me with this conference at this moment. Shahira read the book and it changed some things, and she started to become motivated to just be who she knows that she needs to be. I see her all the time and she's a great person. And, you know, we talk about what's next for everybody and all that other stuff. But she was able to sit down and say to herself, I got to stop waiting on the things that I know I needed to do. So let me tell you about the other part of the conversation, which directly correlates to my conference. We were talking about her reaction to the book and what she learned. And then she said, yeah, I failed my test. And I said to her, and this is why I'm talking about the conference, is because in person, me and another person talking about this stuff, some things happen, which will happen at the conference. She said, I failed my test. And I said, Shahira, what I know to be true is we don't like the things that happen, but everything that happens to us happens for a reason. Do you know why you failed that test? And what was the reason that you failed it? What happened for you once you failed that test?
She said, what happened to you when you got back to work? I said, I went to work. I thought it was real simple.
Right, so she wasn't clear. She still wasn't clear. I said, so what changed for you? What did you end up doing? What did you end up doing because you failed the test? So you see, the thing is, the point here, she failed the test, and all of this time, how long ago was that?
3 years.
3 years ago, she failed this test. She walking around, not that she's talking about it every moment. She's walking around saying to herself, telling herself the story, I failed that test. And then when she went back to go take the test, it cost more. So then she said to herself, I don't even know if I want to take this test. It costs more. But she didn't realize it was an investment in herself, of course. But here was the thing. Shahira, what happened when you went back to school and you went back to work after you failed the test? What happened for you? What went on? What did you learn? What was next? She said that the things that happened at the school that she works at, she began to realize, or I clarify for her, you ended up in a position that you weren't in before, being able to watch some things, because she said to me, you want to be a what?
Principal.
All this time I've known her, I never knew she wanted to be a principal. So I said to her, because I know her story, you work under this principal and you were able to watch the principal's rights, wrongs, all the problems they had. She's able to problem solve from the sideline. And she says to me, this is what I would have done. We've had these conversations. So when I'm sitting here and I'm like, Shahira, do you not realize that it might not be good for you that you failed that test, but you failed that test to be put in a position for you to get clarity on the fact that you want to be a principal, because you never told me before you wanted to be a principal. But once you got in that position because you failed the test, and also you failed the test, and what else happened? You failed it and you were able to do different kind of work too, right?
Right.
Which is what you realize that you love.
Absolutely. And I was telling her, I always thought I went to school because I want to be a psychologist. This is it. I want to be a psychologist. I failed the test. I went back to working in the hospital and the school. And I'm in the hospital going, do I really want to do therapy? I don't really want to hear people's problems, especially adults. And then I would go to school and go, but I love this. This is my joy. What are you doing in this role other than being a guidance counselor? What can you do? And I would just walk the halls and sit in the classrooms and go, I want to take over.
Silently.
Silently, I want to take over I thought always wanted to be a psychologist. So that fell in my LPC exam by 4 points. That it led me here. Now I'm in school actually for my principal cert. And never even thought about it.
And now, after reading the book, you were telling me that you answered some questions for yourself and you realized there are some things that you really, really want to do that you were not really looking at, and you were running away from what it will take to do it.
Absolutely.
And now that you had to answer the question, some things got clear.
Yes, a lot of things got clear. I am a procrastinator. I'd rather sleep than be bothered. But this book here said, the thing with me is once I put it down on paper, I start the footwork. But Tamika said, get up and work. The book tells you, get up and work. Now is not the time to sit down. If you're really serious, you're not going to sit down. So when I say this book did that, This is going to be phenomenal. It's going to move people. It's a move and a shaker book.
I honestly, I didn't write the book for the entire world. I wrote the book with the beauty industry people in mind. I really did. I didn't intend for it to be anything else. And who knew?
Not me.
Who would have known? Who would have known? So
I was holding on to. I said I was sitting in the chair reading and going, "Don't say this is hitting me at home. Just put it off put it off on your kids. Put it off on this person." But I had to tell Tamika today. I said I sat in that chair and lied and said, "Oh, this book would be good for my kids, but this book is good for me, and I'm going to share it with my kids." So I don't know what else to tell you all.
it was just, oh man.
Yes.
Wow. We just had to go live, guys. I don't know if there's anything else that we could share. I'm gonna grab let me see 1 second. Well, you know what? I'm gonna look at we just got some printed papers here from the book. I'm gonna look at the contents. Let me see. Oh, what is it? Does anything resonate here with that you read?
So I don't have my glasses on.
Oh, I printed some pages, y'all.
Yeah.
For my own.
What stood out to me is, one, how would this set you apart? I had to sit back and look at myself, and I don't really give myself credit for many things that I do. Who can help you? That was my roadblock, or who's there. But then I let it go and go, I can always find someone. I can always Google someone. So I put that on the burner as not really in my priority. My obstacles stood out. Money stood out. And setting that date stood out. Setting the date is when I first set my pen down and said, am I really going to commit to this? Because setting that date, you commit. And that's where if you're a fear or flight person, I've hesitated because I'm not too fearful, but I had to pause for a second and literally had to breathe and go, all right, God, conversation time.
Because it felt like real. It felt more real when you had to put the pen to the paper.
I put the pen down, came back and said, this is it. I need to make a commitment because I don't have that much time. I've waited 3 years already.
So you like for real, put
the
pen down. No, like for real.
No, honestly,
so it's like a physical thing. You could not write it on the paper yet.
I couldn't. And this is where my heart went, whew. And I had my pen literally, it went, I'm just going to set it down for a minute. Went to my kitchen, got a bowl of cereal, Special K. Sat down and started watching TV again. Like, here I go with the procrastinating. I'm just going to watch TV. And then I said, no, no. Let me go back. I'm going to set a date. My kids graduate 2020. By 2020, I'm taking over. This is it. It's not going to take me long to get my principal cert. I'm putting down June 2020. And that's what I put down in my book, June 2020. Because I just had a talk with my kids when they called me and said, we can't live in fear. We were raised from an area we live in to be fearful, and here I am afraid to put down a date. So I had to put down June 2020, even though I hesitated out of fear. Go, girl, don't play yourself. Don't put down 2020. You're still going to be in school. But I can tell you right now I'm not, because the school won't let me be in here for 2 years for a certificate. I only got 6 months. So that was my rude awakening, shall I say, or my blessed awakening.
Yeah. Well, this was good. We don't want to be here too long, but
and thank you.
You're welcome. So I really feel that God puts us in places.
And people.
Puts people in places. God removes people. God puts things in front of you for you to have a rude awakening. God stops things from happening so that something else can happen. Because I keep trying to say to everyone, what resonated with me the most tonight when we were talking was she was sitting there looking at her failure as a failure, as the thing that stopped it all. Yeah. But that failure was the thing that brought her to this point to be able to realize what's going on and what she needs to do next.
And it was crazy that I still didn't think about that until this conversation.
So guys, I thank God for giving me whatever he has given me to be able to help to pull some things out of people, because it's funny that I asked her 2 times before we got to the answer, what was it that happened when that failure happened? And this is how it goes. So for me, like having a conference, I mean, like forget the book right now. Having a conference is putting people in front for us to do the work together, because we're going to do the work like for real, for real. People are going to go through the things in this book, plus some other things that I have that I understand how to pull things out of people. That's what we're going to do when we get together. Because
that's what's going to be needed. Because I can sit here and write. I was in the shop just sitting here writing. And I'm easily distracted by all my thoughts that are in my head. But Tamika went, hey.
Nudge, nudge.
You look distracted there. What you doing? I went, oh. And she started to probe and ask questions and had me go, okay. All right. I didn't think about that. Because these are questions I'm not asking myself. There may be questions you sitting there doing and you're not going to ask yourself. But dialogue will get everything out.
But I'm excited that you were still up in the middle of the night. Like, no, I'm going back to this book.
And
it's a short book, y'all. It's a short book.
And it's a quick read.
That was another thing you told me that you liked about it, too.
Because me, I'm a skimmer. I tell people that all the time. I skim. I don't read until it's something that I need to read for comprehension to not have any legal issues. But other than that, I'm like, oh, this is easy. Quick read. Oh, I'm here for it. And then I still find myself being lazy, skimming. And going, oh, there's no skimming here because now I got to write.
We got to work.
So let me go back up and read this little synopsis of what explanation Tamika gave. And went, oh, okay. It's short, it's concise, and it gets you, you spill out. Everything just overpours is what it feels like. It's an overpouring of everything you were holding on to, all your fears you were holding on to, everything I let go. And Tamika asked me, you mind going live as a private? I said, after writing, nothing's private, because this is stuff that I need to talk about that I've not talked about. So,
well, you just professed it to the world.
Yeah.
So you better do what you said you was gonna do.
And
you know I'm gonna be on top of you anyway.
Yes,
like, did you do what you said you were gonna do?
Yes, you are.
You know. And one last thing, guys. We can't say anything negative about ourselves. I was saying that from the last several days. We can't speak anything negative over our own heads. Yeah. It doesn't work, it sticks, and it just continues to add on to the mess that you already have. What we really have to do is continue to release the past, all the mistakes, all the issues. We have to continue to release those things, because you can't move forward when you got blockage that is telling you that you're not good enough and you're not able and capable of doing something that you should be able to do. You had a failure. That just held you down. Oh, you're held back. Oh my God, it was a failure. And I'll tell y'all one more thing. I always say one more thing, and here I keep talking. She was down. Let me tell you, this is for real. I said this to another person. I will not say who they are, because y'all know I'm not going mess up the privacy thing. She's down because she was home on disability. We have to understand, when God stops us and puts us in a place where we can't move, you better take that time to reflect and to focus on who you are right now, who you were, and who you want to be, because you're not moving. It is the time when you sit still to reflect. So none of this is a mistake. She was here the other day because she was on disability. So God stopped her. So she got this knee surgery over and over again. It's not her first surgery. Let's understand that we don't want surgery, but God is doing work and putting her in a quiet, still position to be able to receive and work. And that is no joke. I told someone the other day that when I was able to sit still because I was home from having surgery, I changed everything about my career because I was sitting still. I couldn't move. I couldn't do nothing but focus. I couldn't do nothing but say to myself, how much more do I want, and how I was going to figure out how I was going to get it. I wasn't doing anything else. So understand your surgeries, your accidents, all of the things that happened to you. Whoa, wow. She had an accident today.
It ended up here. And was not supposed to make it here on time. But I came and said, will you please still? And here we are with this conversation again.
She ended up here having an accident, She was supposed to be here way earlier. Yeah. She wasn't going to come. And then I said I'll go ahead and, Curl do the stuff that she wanted me to do. Then she ended up here with just us two. Yeah. You got to understand, God doesn't make any mistakes. When it was other people in here, our conversation that we just had would not have happened. Yeah. There are no mistakes. I'm sorry you had an accident today.
Me too.
I'm sorry. She got a sling on. That's not the first injury. That's the second one.
I took off the neck brace.
The first injury is her knee. She been hopping around because she had knee surgery. This is the injury from today. But this allowed her to sit here. Yeah. And her car is banged up. But guess what? The rest of her life is starting right now. Mm-hmm. The rest of her life is starting right now. And whatever it costs to fix the car, it may cost it's total. So either she's gonna get a new car and everything is good, or something, whatever it is, that's gonna be worked out, because that is gonna be worked out. But none of this was a mistake, because she's gonna go take that test. Yeah. She's gonna take the test, and she's gonna be in a different position after she takes the test. And she's going to get a higher position. I'm calling it right now. I mean, she wants to be a principal.
And it's going to happen.
Everything that she has already worked on, she's already prepared to be that principal. She just needs, in the book, it's talking about who do you need. She's going to need some folks that will give her a recommendation and whatever else it takes. So she'll be working on that as well to make sure she's in the company of the right people. Yes. And she will get that position. And she will have the whatever she needs, a degree, everything. So that's it, y'all.
That's it. Oh, Tamika, thank you. See y'all.
You're welcome.